I'll just tell you, we played our butts off against a really good football team on the road, and that's encouraging, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We have to win those games. That's the step that we have to take. That's the breakthrough that we have to make. And in order to do that, we all have to be better. Okay, and what that means is that every single day we have to do everything that we're doing better, with more discipline, with more focus, with more intensity, with more intent, with more passion. We can't make excuses. Okay, we can't give other people excuses. Okay, and if we do that, we have a chance to be a good team. And if we don't, and we will. When I say if we don't, I don't mean that negative, because I know that we will, and we're gonna get things going. So I'm proud of them. But at the same point, I think we're all incredibly disappointed. We see what we can be, but we're not that yet. And we got to work religiously until we become that, and we will. So.
When we talked at halftime, you'd spoken about wanting to see more out of the air attack, specifically in the offense. What do you think you saw in the second half from that facet? Some
good, some bad. We had a couple of drops that hurt us. But we made progress. You know, Nick starting his second game ever, he overcame a tough first half. Obviously that interception late, I'd like to see him drive that in there. You can hear the disappointment right there. That's how we all feel. We didn't come here to come close. We didn't come here to lose by 5 or whatever it was. And let me make this point too. I just want to say something about their head football coach, Manny Diaz. He is a pro. And what he did at the end of the game, that's how football is supposed to be played, okay? And too many college coaches don't play football that way. He respects the men that play the game, and he respects the game. And for him to tell his guy to concede and then take a knee 3 times and end it, that's how football coaches are supposed to act. So my hat is off to him, and I told him that after the game. That was respect, and that's respect for the game and the kids that are playing it. So I think that every football coach should have to watch the end of that game so they understand what this game's supposed to be played like.
You were down a man in the running back room this week. We knew that, and Cam Edwards came out and did what he did. Just in terms of a silver lining in a loss, what did you make of his performance?
He's a dog. I mean, he's tough. I mean, he's gritty. You want your team to take on the personality of a guy like that, and I believe that we are. You can count on him. He's overcome things his whole life, and he continues to. He runs hard. He's positive. I can't say enough good things about the kid. The improvement that he's made, the maturity that he's shown in a little over 2 years is pretty incredible. Because when he was a freshman, there was some concerns, and he just decided to flip the switch. And not only is he a really good football player, but he's become a really positive influence in our locker room and a leader. And you love it when your leaders are your best players, and they practice like he does, and they talk like he does, and they perform like he does. I mean, that's what you want out of your best players.
And Tui Brown had big shoes to fill coming into this year, replacing Jackson Mitchell. Comes up with a couple of big hurries on the quarterback, and so from his performance in the middle of that defense, what did you see out of him?
Well, he started all last year. Yeah, so he wasn't replacing Jackson. He's a starter. Tui, for a guy that's playing with a club on his hand, right? I mean, he's got a deal here over his knuckle that, quite frankly, if he chose to, he could say, let's surgically repair this. Now, he's not risking further injury. Our doctors wouldn't let him do that by playing, but it is hampering his ability to tackle and do things like that. We've got a number of guys with hand injuries, unfortunately, but Tui's tough. Tui's probably the most disappointed guy in there right now because, as he made those big plays, but he knows there's plays he left out on the field. And I think that's the case with all of our guys, and as coaches too. I mean, when I say our performance, I'm talking about all of us. We all had a hand in it. All of us, every single one of us. So,
Coach,
is that it?
Thank you so much.